to having a situation in which you can help somebody.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody should thank you, right? It's the other way. Yeah, I mean, that's a plan. But.
So you will divide your life into a little bit for yourself, a little bit for your family, and a little bit for society. A lot of gurus and coaches say similar things. In other words, that all the dimensions of life need to come together, and that is when you reach your peak as a human being completely. I do know that you are very, very discreet about it, which is amazing, but you have helped a lot of people and you are a big philanthropist. Can you just share some of the sort of things that you're doing with children, with education and so on, for us to share the human side of your life?
First, I want to go back to the times and family. There was a time, let's say, a few years back, in 2005 to 2008, it's 3 years, where my children were younger, and I had to pay a lot of attention to the business. Some of them didn't know me, I mean, very well, or didn't know I was the dad at least. So the time passes. Now that's very bad for not paying attention to the children. But when I say you want to put it in practice, organize your time between yourself, family, and organization for now. I had an advisor, and he told me, he's still around in Dubai, and I see him times to times. He told me, Mohammed, you wouldn't be able to do it. With a lot of passion within you for the organization and for the objectives you want to achieve in these 5 years, you can't. I said, I want to do it. So when things went, the structures went, let's say, in a stage so I can be taking some more distance, I did it. I just let it go. So I had time for myself in terms of what I want to do. Training was very important because when you are busy, you leave out that training, what you call it, exercise. Exercise. And that's not good for your physique and it's not good for your mind and so on.
But you look pretty fit, so you're obviously doing good.
Well, since then I said, khalas, I have to do this, and I do it. Family is the same thing. I mean, I travel with my wife alone, I travel with family, children, once a year. So I give time to her, to them, and to myself with friends. So there is traveling. I'm not saying long trips, let's say long weekend. So I put that in practice. Organization, the same thing. 8:30 to 5. That is the office work. And I said, nobody should be working in the office after 5. And people are forced to go on vacation. So I don't give encashment. See? So whatever is the situation, I said, after 3, no more meeting, after 3 o'clock. Doesn't matter what. Many events at night, I escape.
Right.
Tonight I'm here, and I shouldn't be here, you know?
Yes.
But it's my pleasure. I escape. I said, what? So what?
Yeah.
Every night I go to events, every night I go to invitation for, I don't know what. There is always some activities. Yeah. They never ends, right? So that doesn't work with me anymore. I let my other colleagues, my other leaders in the company do that, right? They are brought into the company, they are in the company to do this sort of practices. It's not my job anymore. I can strongly and with a lot of confidence say, yes, I can do it.
Great.
Yes.
I can relate to a story with my little niece. I work late regularly, and she wanted to spend some time with me, and she said, because she goes to bed at 7:38, and she lives here in Jumeirah. I was late one night, and then another night. She wanted to play with me, and then she looked at me and she said, "Are you sure you're not slow at your work?" So from that day onwards, I've always said, whenever I'm late at work, I must be very slow at what I'm doing. So obviously you're doing a great job. May I just go back to the contribution segment. And I know that you're very modest about it, but just for us to share, you don't have to give details, the kind of things that you individually or as a group that you are doing, because I think that helps for us to understand and be even more inspired by your story. What kind of things do you do? Where do you do them? Is there any special areas that you look at?
Well, as an organization, it's our duty to do the social support in all the official venues, let's say the foundations,
right,
which is set by the governments and the leaders. We try to participate in a way and, let's say, align with our capability wherever and whatever. We keep doing that. We try to, let's say, also train and bring in the locals, which are somehow been unfortunate in the past days, you know, in terms of education, to bring them in, give them a chance, train them. And perhaps some of them would be more capable to grow. These are an ongoing. As a person, that's different. As a person, I don't put any dirham in any foundation, because there are many people I know in person. They can do something with 1 dirham, change their life in terms of getting more opportunity, building themselves. And most cases would be educational. And people want to go to school, they don't have the fees, they don't have the means, they want to go to universities, they don't have the tuitions. You know, and I know many, and especially female, more than male. And this context is through my family, my sisters. So it's not like I know them individually or I want the names, but I know their families from far, and trying to do those sort of contribution. To my belief is, if the person is her feet and become more capable, then you have done something for her or him. But there are many other ways, yeah.
Any questions that anybody that you would like to ask Mr. Al-Fahim?
We're here to talk about SME and perhaps job creation. You mentioned a moment ago that you would be ready to give back to society and so forth. Would you consider, as an example, since job creation is a big item here in the Middle East, would you consider creating a fund to help young entrepreneurs get their job, their companies started unfunded, perhaps, putting your own money into it? Or do you think that's the job of the government and the Dubai SME and the Khalifa Fund and so forth? Do you think it's something that the private sector, someone like yourself, should undertake?
You are right here. I mean, what you mentioned in terms of the foundation, which is set by Sheikh Khalifa and Sheikh Mohammed, and there are others, I think they're doing a great job. And the funds and the process set, or the structures, because I know some of the managements, is very well done at the highest standard. And they really support the young entrepreneur. What is our duty, I believe, can contribute more to the society is there are people who even wouldn't be able to be entrepreneur, right? At least they want to be employed in the first place before they can think like there is a chance in life for them. There are many other foundations or social responsibility or say areas in which we can contribute, which is set by the government, right? In terms of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Foundation, just a very much personal foundation of Sheikh Mohammed. I can mention many, and I'm sure you know about that. There are many chances for us in which a private sector should and would be contributing, and we don't need to create another one because it's already so many. Yeah.
I had 2 thoughts in my mind. One is being a loyal customer of Paris Gallery. I think the last 7 years that I have been in this region, I think every occasion, everything, I think Paris Gallery is something which every household, at least in my friend circle we have seen, we have taken that. At the same time, I've always seen, as you have maintained loyal customers, You also have a very loyal workforce. I am buying my perfumes from the same man for the last 7 years at Dera City Center, outside Carrefour. I don't see your team changing. How do you manage to engage your team so well that the same gentleman with the same smile, I've seen him over the years? So the pleasure that I have as a loyal customer, I also know that you have a very loyal workforce working with you.
Thank you very much. Um, uh, I travel economy, and if I wish to travel, for example, business, I have to pay from my pocket. Now, that's a policy for everybody. We have a community club within the head office in which the people themselves, they select the president, the members, and they do all the activities themselves, right? Even let's say the parking I pay because it's put on auction. When I want to buy a perfume, I have to pay for it. And I have only customer discount and limited quantities. There is a limit to what I can buy. Now, all this is a small example of how the business is practiced.
But excuse me, but you also don't, the firing process has a very good structure also,
Yes,
isn't
yes,
it?
of course.
You can't just fire because I think there are 2 levels of layers in between. That's another one.
No, the shop manager, the retail manager, is the owner of the space. The shop is a company by itself. It has all the types of assets. It has the human resource products, fixed assets. So when they do the budget, they have to contribute certain amount to the head office. And they have full authorities within the system and policies to be the person to act, and also some of the authorities cascaded to the supervisory levels within the shop. And they have also extra, let's say, they can do over exceptional in some areas as extra authorities. Now, that's as a beginning of when you do the corporate governance, you cascade the authorities and you cascade the accountability, right? Now, having that in mind, if it was you being part of a group and you are happy in what you do every day and the way you are passionate about, and you're being given the chance to do the practice, the authorities within whatever policy limits is, for sure you want to work with this company. Especially you being given the chance to be trained, so your skills grow up, and also you can take different function or higher function and responsibility. We hire from within. For example, every year about 250 people are promoted from within in all different types of positions. We have the smallest, let's say, lines of senior management. One of the smallest, I can say. There's a head department, and then there is more day-to-day junior people. So it's not like layer after levels of people. That's not us. In addition, when it comes to promotion, in addition to, let's say, punishment or demotion or firing, termination, there is a process. There is a HR generalist, there is the manager of that particular person in charge, and they have to go through a set of a process to come up to what went wrong, to take the action. And every year when there is an assessment is both ways. Assessment of subordinates to their manager, assessment from managers to subordinates, and that's by policy. They have to do that, and in presence of HR, let's say, representative. So I'm not saying things goes always perfect. There are many things we have to do in a better way, but so far things is going in the right direction.
A quick comment.
Just, one last thing is this name Paris Gallery. How did this name come up?
Oh. You know, my dad had before Paris Perfumery in Souks. And then when we started to set up a new company in the format of what Paris Gallery is today and expand into the market, we thought Paris Perfumery is very limited to something Parisian and perfumes. Our plan was to expand the category so we cannot be perfume only. And we didn't want to lose the name and let's say the reputation linked with the name. So we wanted to leverage that already with the small customer base we had. So eventually everybody was looking to come up with a suggestion. This name was suggested by one of my, a person in charge in advertising division in Saudi. And he is from Madras. Charles or Charlie from Madras, right? And he gave me some names, one of which was Paris Gallery. And he showed me in a dictionary how gallery translate into to contain more categories as you wish. And in Arabic also gallery meant, like ma'rad, that means also like a big exhibition. So it was a sort of fit. And we just avoided even from beginning anything linked with the family name. I mean, some entrepreneurs do that for some reasons, but we didn't want to do that. We wanted to be more commercial-oriented business or trademark name.
And I just have a quick question with regards to the IPOs. Wouldn't Paris Gallery consider going public in a stock exchange other than the UAE, given the liquidity at the time being?
Yes, when the time comes, because we're already franchising the brand into other markets within Middle East or outside Middle East in long term. We want to be offering to our potential customers even in many developed countries in Europe or United States. Now, currently in midterm, we are franchising in Middle East. Some countries is not ready, some are more potential, and this is what we're doing. When it comes to stock exchange, that is also aligned with our intention. We want to be in Far East, and we want to be in London as another stock exchange. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, Said Fahim. It was an honor to listen to your comments, and I thank the organizers that give us an opportunity to meet the locals, because they are always segregated in a separate place, you see. And I just had an offer, people were offering to be partners with you. I humbly would like to also offer that I will do your customer service for you without any charge, as long as you let my wife purchase whatever she wants from your place. So that's what. Thank you very much.
Well, appreciate it. Your wife is always welcome. And you can consider it as your shop. It's our pleasure. When it comes to locals, we all know and we do all appreciate what you guys from any part of the world you are, from subcontinents, from perhaps Europe or elsewhere, from Middle East. We do appreciate, we do understand like what you contributed to this country. I mean, as a leader of the country, they openly say that, and we as a businessman, as individual, we believe in that and we feel it every day. I mean, you brought a lot to this country for the country to be where we are today. So it's like maybe a sort of I don't know, maybe some experience or feeling individual have. But I'm sure many of you have business partners who are local or partners, actual partners as a local in the UAE. And we do promote that because multicultural, multi-creativity, let's say, tolerance, it gives us all more chance to grow, to be more competitive.
Last question. First hand that goes up. Okay. As a tradition, what we do and this has become something special as far as this event is concerned. We take you into the future. Imagine today is your 85th birthday. You have a long, long way to go for that. And if we were sitting here today as your 85th birthday, and then we look back